Hello, this is Tom Sillis, CEO of wetcrow.com. The title of this video is Why Trump Will Lose 2024 Election. And let me tell you something. This is very controversial. If you look at the popular vote, people don't, they think Biden's too old. They think that, that Trump is the popular choice. But when things are setting up right now, they're going to change all that. People are going to lose faith in the Republican Party, and I'll tell you why. Right now the Republican Party has gotten so radical. They don't want to negotiate with the Democrats. Okay, granted, I know the Democrats they claim like to tax and spend, but if you look at the reality, the Republicans have caused a lot more spending than the Democrats have caused. A lot of that was due to obviously helping Ukraine. I think a part of it. Also, the threat of China has forced the U.S. to ramp up its military, and that's a normal thing. But people don't care about that as much. They don't look at it as a thing, and they don't realize. A lot of Americans don't realize how much the U.S. is really spending on offsetting China. That's a lot more money. That's like I think it's 3 times as much than Biden has spent. They blame Biden for everything. And a lot of that spending was really due to the same thing, protecting the U.S. against China. And they made it look like Democrats are spending money when in fact it was the Republicans. The Republicans spend 2 to 3 to 1 the money that's being spent. And they're blaming the Democrats they want to cut the spending. They want the Democrats to cut social spending and make everybody poor and cut the salaries of people. If people were smart and they really looked at what's going on, they would never, ever vote Republican. I'm just telling you this for a fact. Okay, you're going to find this out in the next year when we start going to a near depression, because the U.S. is going to collapse very soon if we don't, take care of this. Okay, it's not the money. It's not the problem. Is not the Democrats. The problem is the Republicans. Look what happened with McCarthy was ousted. As soon as he voted to negotiate with the Democrats to get a spending bill. So we can make it at least for the next few weeks until we can negotiate something better, which now is not going to happen. It's going to be. I'm almost guaranteeing you that November 17, 2023, we're going to have a full government shutdown that's going to last for months. It'll probably be the longest one ever. I'm almost certain of that. And a lot of that. And what's going to happen out of that? It's going to be the Republicans that are going to cause it, because they're not going to vote for it. They're going to look bad, and the people are going to start changing. You're going to start seeing the popular vote going toward Biden being reelected, and Biden's done a lot of good things. He doesn't have to publicize it. He just does it. He doesn't publicize his good deeds. Okay. And, maybe Clinton did a better job in balancing the budget, but things were different then. Now, things were booming. And now we're facing, we're long overdue for a Great Depression. The dollar is being challenged by the Russian, the BRICS thing. A lot more trading is being done on a massive scale outside of the U.S. dollar. So the dollar is being dethroned, and it's happening a lot quicker than you really think. If people really knew what's going on, they would vote Democrat, because the Democrats are the ones that are going to save the day when it comes to that. They're going to help the dollar stay strong and stronger than what happened under the Republicans. The Republicans they're after the big money. They're supporting big money, and they're keeping people down with religion. They're using false religion. They're telling in the churches. When I was in Georgia in the 1990s. Okay, I remember going to a Baptist church because a neighbor of mine asked me to come to their church, and I went there, and the priest was bragging, "Vote for George Bush." They were telling people God wants you to vote for Bush. Now, how messed up is that? Okay, that they were using religion for politics, and that's technically was illegal. It should be almost illegal. And that's what they do. They're still doing in the South. And all this controversy, what's taught in the schools, they're taking books out of the schools. Like there was a on the news today on NBC News. They were showing the controversy in Grapevine, Texas, and in the other town outside of Houston. South Lake is a suburb of Houston. Same thing. They're doing the same thing. They're dictating, the school board is dictating what you can hear in school. And then all over the schools, in God we trust. Okay, they're using religion to, a lot, you got to understand that, even in Texas and a lot of the bigger cities, most students are not religious. They're not religious. In fact, there could be a lot of Muslims. There could be a lot of Hindu, Chinese. You have all different religions. There are a lot of Indians in this country. So they're Hindu. They're not Christian. So you can't promote, Christian stuff. It's supposed to be separating of church and state. And that's not being done in the South. The Republicans are forcing religion on everybody. And they're very good at it. And people are getting upset. They're pissed off at this. And people are moving. They're saying that the migration is going to go back to the north very soon. I was talking with somebody after I watched that video, the NBC News. I was chatting with somebody online. They think, and people are moving back up north. They're starting that because they're fed up with what the Republicans are doing. They're just fed up with this polarization in the country, and which has been started by Donald Trump. He's promoting hate, racism, and violence ever since Trump, started promoting that. And he blames the Democrats. It's gotten insane. Okay, and it's very stupid and unprovoked. The other thing, just about Trump, the news that's going on, why Trump's not going to win. The one thing is the radical Republicans, like I just explained, there's a lot more to that. They're going to cause the shutdown on November 17th. Okay, the next thing is Trump's in a lot of hot water. He's got a lot of criminal cases because he was promoting. He thought he won 2020, and he's trying to overturn the election, and he broke a lot of laws. I mean, he committed crimes, and then he committed crimes in his business dealings way before he became president. All along he's been pumping up the value of his stock. He told the banks that his property is worth a lot more. He got appraisers. He probably paid off appraisers. I mean, I don't know that for a fact. It might come out in the trials. But you got to figure out that to get, you have to have appraisals to get loans. He probably got somebody. He probably paid him money. I'll give you $50,000 for the appraisal if you match my numbers. And when somebody is poor and broke and they're an appraiser, they're going to take the money. I mean, it's common sense. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure that out. Okay, I'm not saying that he did it. I don't know for a fact, so don't quote me on it. But think about it. If you're an appraiser and you're broke, because a lot of appraisers are suffering, they're struggling. So if somebody comes and throws you $50,000 to make it look a little bit more, maybe even 10% or 20% more, you're going to take the money and you're going to make it appraised. And then you get another guy to do it. You have a second appraiser just to pacify the banks. And the banks will accept it. They're forced to accept it because they have rules they got to follow. So meantime, the banks loan them a lot more money than what these properties are worth. Some of his properties went bankrupt, and the banks took a hit on that because there's this old saying that goes, if you owe the bank $5 million, less than $5 million, you're in trouble. Okay, if you owe the bank more than $5 million, the bank's in trouble. Okay, so who do you want to be? Trump made his money based on that. He had valuation on the properties. He's able to borrow against them more money. The banks threw him money like candy because he was successful in branding his name. Okay, I'm not going to knock it. He did very good at branding. He's very good branding. He's a very good talker. But more recently, ever since he became president, he started getting a little, I wouldn't call it senile, but he started opening his mouth a little bit too much. He was, he was firing everybody left and right, because like the show, "You're fired, apprentice, you're fired," and people kind of took to that kind of nicely in a lot of ways because they were used to him on TV. He's a TV personality with that Apprentice show. So they thought it was a great businessman. People didn't know the truth of what happened before his deception, his lies. He's a horrible business person, and if you read more about him, you're going to find out what he's done. That's been on the border of fraud. Okay, maybe it is fraud. I don't know. I'm not going to say that because we don't know what's going to come out of these trials that are against him. All I know is that with all the stuff happening, the shutdown's going to derail him, I think, tremendously with the Republicans because they're going to blame the Republicans for what's going to happen, not the Democrats. That's why the Democrats voted to oust McCarthy, so that it'll make the Republicans look bad. I think that was nasty for the Democrats to do it, but they know what I think they know what they're doing. They're going to put the blame on the Republicans for the failure, in the government shutdown. Everybody's going to blame the Republicans for that. They're going to be the scapegoat for that, unfortunately. So, sad, maybe good. For me, it's good because I'm a Democrat, but that's the reality. And, dirty politics on both sides are causing this, and the American people are going to pay the price for this because now what's going to happen is maybe Biden's going to win. Maybe we're going to have a war with China. Who knows? We're already having a lot of conflicts in the South China Sea with China. And China's rapidly building up its military. We're not even keeping up pace. China's priority overtaken us Navy-wise, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And, the Air Force, we're still number one, but China's quickly catching up. And if we don't take notice of that and act on it very quickly, we're gonna be in hot water. So anyway, that's my spiel for today. Why Trump will lose 2024 election, and it's I think it's good that he loses, because I think if he wins again, we're going to have a lot of problems. I mean, he's going to do the same crap again. We're going to have racism. Violence is going to grow in the U.S. We're going to be almost near a civil war, and I think it's going to be very horrible. I think what's going to happen. He's going to incite violence again, like he did before. That's not going to end. I just hope he doesn't win. I hope that they put him in jail. I hate to say this, but maybe that'll be the best thing that happens to the U.S. That and stop this craziness. And maybe we'll be lucky somebody will shoot him, and we won't have to worry about it no more. But don't put your bets on that. Anyway, that's it for today. Please subscribe to my video, subscribe to my channel, and like this video, because I'm going to be talking a lot more about this in the coming weeks. I have a lot more information that you want to hear about, and like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you some insights into it. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. If you're a Republican, look, no offense, that's just my beliefs. But this stuff here that has happened is not going to be good for the Republicans. It's going to be a sad day for them when the election happens. A lot of stuff's going to happen against Trump, I think, and it's going to derail him. Right now he's got a huge edge. I mean, he's got almost an 80% win over Biden right now. If the election was today, I think Trump would win hands down. Okay, that's my thing. But things might change soon. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just guessing. I'm using educated guess based on the facts. Things can change on a dime depending on what happens with the government shutdown. If they resolve it, good. If they don't resolve it, we got problems. Okay, for the Republicans. So that's it. Have a great week, and we'll talk again.